Hey guys, Robbie. I got a special guest here to say something.
Greetings, this is Wonder Woman. You are watching Pros versus Noobs.
Actually, Wendy, that's supposed to be Pro teaches noobs. I know you like you like to do fighting and everything, but not everything's always.
And today, this is Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're going to teach you how pros do things. They do it better than their brother. They're about to celebrate becoming an only child.
Yeah, I hear you say that a lot, Azula.
Yeah, noobs are just twerps and they all need to go to bed. They sure are. I can't stand a noob. You know who's a noob? Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I can't stand that guy. But he is my best friend, so whatever.
Oh, way to go, Mandy. So, yeah. What they said. Welcome to Pro Teaches Noobs. Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noobs. You have with me, Jared.
Yo!
And today we've got an interesting book. A book that's going to be divided into 2 videos because of the amount of story in this. And because even the trades are split in 2.
Mm-hmm.
Countdown to Mystery. Today we'll be covering the main story with Dr.Fate, written by the last work by the late great Steve Howard the Duck Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know who Steve Gerber is, right? He's also the one who did the Superman Phantom Zone mini back right before Infinite Crisis.
I don't. Did we ever cover that book?
Nope.
I don't think so. I'm not that familiar with him.
Like I said, Howard the Duck. He's the creator of Howard the Duck.
Okay. I will say though, I loved Dr. Fate, so I'm excited for this.
Yep, this was meant to be the fallout. Like Gerber was originally assigned to completely redefine the new age of magic after Infinite Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he got ill, so it was then reverted to a mini series, and then eventually he passed away. By the second to last issue, he plotted it, and it was scripted by Adam Beechin. But then he finished before he could wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get to it. I'll tell you more when we get to the final issue. But like I said, this will also include the other story, which we'll also cover before, the Eclipse story, written by Lilith Sturgis back when they were known as Matthew Sturgis.
Okay, I understand.
Yep. Probably one of the people who will still defend Bill Willingham, even though everyone keeps on saying, oh, Bill's a conservative, he must hate you. No, they're still good friends. Very good friends.
What people on Twitter don't realize that it's possible for people of different political beliefs to be friends.
Yep. And again, Willingham has never been an a-hole conservative.
Well, here's the thing. It's like you also have occasions where, like, Palmiotti will go on Billy Tucci's channel.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, okay, because you're talking about comics, not politics.
I know. Now you do, and the artist is Justiniano, who also did the artwork for Day of Vengeance. And as I told you before we got started, scumbag human being.
Yes, he is a scumbag. He is definitely a scumbag.
Just put it this way to anyone who's in the know, he's like Gerard Way.
Yeah.
No, Gerard Jones, not Gerard Way. Complete that. Gerard Way's awesome. Gerard Way's awesome.
Okay,
Gerard Jones.
Okay, good.
Sorry, it's Gerard. You don't get that many Gerards.
Yeah, exactly.
Gerard Jones is a scumbag. Gerard Way is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let's get started, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Now, back during Day of Vengeance, the Infinite Crisis special, Fate was burnt out. He was killed by the Spectre so that God will finally get in, and as Protective Chimp put it best, you make the dog bark loud enough, the master came and put a leash on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, Chimp told Shazam, throw it. And it went all the way across the universe, hit the edge of the universe, and bounced back. Mm-hmm. And then eventually led to a series of one-shots called Helmet of Fate, which would have a bunch of characters, starting with Detective Chimp, redefined versions of Sargon the Sorcerer and Ibis the Wizard, Black Alice, and Zariel all dealt with the helmet.
I love Zariel.
So from Zariel, it then got sent into here.
Mm-hmm.
Every journey, even one into the edge of existence and realms beyond, must come to an end. Now, if you also notice, the helmet is no longer a full face mask.
I see.
Part of that was to give an excuse to why Chimp can wear it. Because when he first tried it on, okay, well, it can't fit on me. And
it looks a lot like the Ray helmet.
It does. Although even Ray is closer to a full face mask by comparison.
Kind of, yeah.
But anyway, whether the terminus is a place on a map, a marker on the path of life, or a state of being, every traveler gets there. Sooner or later, by intention or fluke, by serendipity or misfortune, through random chance or inexorable fate. Come on, you shiftless burp! Stop taking it easy on each other. We're making rumble bums, not dancer size. Show me something worth shooting, damn it, or I swear I'll renege on the bonus for inclement weather. You know what renege means, right? Yeah. Duh. Sorry, Doc. Nothing personal. Just, business. Oh. Doc? Crap. He's not dead, is he? Negatory. Okay, good. Get him up off the wet ground. Grubby bastard catches pneumonia. You can bet we'll have a lawsuit on our hands. So he's basically recording people and bums fighting because they said, hey, we'll give you money if you beat each other up. Wow, and this is in Vegas. Seeing Doc in No's condition to collect, I should give you his share of the purse to hold for him. Yeah. So that was what, 60 total? Now you said 40 apiece this time because it was our second fight. Plus the bonus, I know. Thus does another journey reach its conclusion. The traveler, Dr. Kent V. Nelson. So another Kent Nelson, but it's not the same Kent Nelson.
Okay.
Hence the V. I think he's going to be the fifth Nelson, so that's a joke.
Okay.
The destination, bottom. Where one path ends, another may begin. At the moment, however, Dr. Nelson harbors little interest in life's passages. He has more immediate concerns, contusions and lacerations to name two, and the pitless pounding that stings like needles driven deep into his wound. He just wants to cover his head. And not thinking, not remembering, he fails. Little blonde masochist. What was her name? Paley, something with a P. Tuesday, 4:30. Loved anything pointed. She would have basked in this and say, wah! The receptive journeys of Kent Nelson, the golden helmet may be over. The trip has just begun. Naboo, what's wrong with you? Oh, this is where we get a summary of what happened. Like perhaps this will happen. A lot of this, it's like, because Justino drew it before, he's basically mimicking what he did before.
Okay.
Yep. So this is a summary of what happened. How Naboo died, so the helmet no longer has its own universe, but it still had power. And then the whole Shazam throwing it, bong! Something, and clearly I'm hallucinating. No, not psychosis. Traumatic brain injury resulting in, not psychosis. Something stranger. Not losing my mind, losing my senses. Sight, hearing, touch, fading. Gone. No taste of blood in my mouth. No odor of filth on my body. But I could hear the stars, see the cold of space. It's as if, no, that's not possible. Quintuple synthesia. All five senses fused into one. No, stop. It's more basic than that. I was drunk. I was exhausted. I took a blow to the head. I'm unconscious, maybe even comatose. My senses aren't fused, they're disfused. I cannot going to all this, yada, yada, But basically also, because of what happened, losing its own universe, it's why the helmet breaks apart. But yeah, just look at that. But let's look at this artwork. Say what you will about the man. Great artwork.
Yeah. It's very cosmic-y.
Yep. Yeah, basically, obviously he's going through this whole discussion. I don't want to go through everything because we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to Detective Chimp first. And Chimp actually did become more Fate-like. All the others just utilized the helmet. Chimp was the only one who actually was like, hey, I'm Fate. But yeah, there's Sargon, there's Black Alice, there's Ibis, and Zariel. Sargon and Ibis would actually be very important for Rain in Hell.
Okay.
That was the story that showed a shakeup in hell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we did again, just giving us a summary because those minis were nice, and set things up, but they were important. But at least like they acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's me after the fight, getting chucked in the dumpster by my trusted friend Burr and one of the video subs, and viewing events that took place in the days of the. So everything I've just seen happened before Burr and I fought. Assuming any of it happened at all, and it wasn't an out-of-body experience or even an out-of-dumpster experience. I saw it all through some kind of thought transference. Sure, it sure happens daily. Did that hat somehow detect the family gift? Did it have concealed sensors? Did it scan my brain and find an infinity for? Whoop! Ha! One of those cases where the road has a big, a pothole.
Yeah.
But because of the water, you don't sink it. They're like, whoop!
Mm-hmm.
The residence of Dr. and Mrs. Kent V. Nelson 2 years ago. It took me on a tour of its memories now, and now it's trying to spit mine back at me. Uh-oh. I'm not going to look at this, but he can't look away. It's been too long since he's seen his wife, ex-wife Marissa, and the daughter Liren. She be 8 now. A loving family and successful and upscale psychiatric practice. Gives me everything I could possibly want, but he won't talk to me. Why does he ignore me, doctor? Am I stupid? Am I boring? Have I put on weight? Recognition, even a minor kind of fame for his services to the community. The special satisfaction that came from teaching at annual seminars at the university. Listening to other people's problems came easily, naturally, and lucratively. Futile, really. I'm old and I'm alone, and that's how it's going to be for me, for whatever time I've got left. You'd be amazed how few women find a guy with gray hair and an oxygen canister hot. Now, this guy will actually pop up again in one of the endings.
Okay.
I've got a near perfect life, Kent would tell friends, and he meant it, which made a spectacular lapse of judgment all the less comprehensible. And his subsequent carelessness seems ludicrously Freudian. Your little slut left it in the car, Kent. You didn't even have the courtesy to pick up after yourself. Marissa Laren left. Listening to other people's problems began to wear. Thing ripped the air open, leapt at me out of the under the hood of my car. Russell, it's important that you're still taking your clozapine regularly. His concentration flag. Responding, you switched me, remember? So we faked it. Enjoyed the game for a while. Dr. Nelson, is that you? Mr. Keenan. I've been meaning to call you, Nelson. I want to thank you with the remarkable work you've done with my son. Well, Russell does the heavy lifting, Mr. Keenan. If he didn't want to help himself, don't be modest, Doc. I know he's a buttfall. Bartender, this gentleman is home for the evening. Give him anything he wants. But as months dragged on, Kent lost interest, even in play acting and attentiveness. Like a reptile with hair. It's trying to kill me, Dr. Nelson. It hates me, and I don't even know why. Dr. Nelson? Right, my hour's up anyway. Clozapine. Stay on the clozapine. Respondone. The Las Vegas Strip, an afternoon 6 months ago. Why is the practitioner always last to identify its own symptoms? The yawning emptiness within, the constant fatigue, the loss of focus, all textbook indicators of depression. Yet he ignored them, as well as the effect they might have had on others. That evening, Lieutenant says you can have a few minutes since you were his doctor. Just watch yourself. He's violent and he's escaped those restraints twice already. All right, thank you, doctor. I'm sorry, Russell. I failed you utterly. I don't expect forgiveness, but I still can like to help if I can. I want you to look me in the eye and let me see what made you snap. Ugh. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a gift that runs in my family. Just lie still. You won't even know it's happened. I will not look at this. I know what comes next. Russell tells his father he went off the meds, and I did nothing. Keenan tells the media. The families of Russell's victims, the 13 dead, the dozens injured, descend on me with negligence and wrongful death claims. Keenan himself sued me for malpractice, and what's left of my life gets repoed, foreclosed on, or suspended. No, I will not look at that. That's it. Show's over. Good then. Hopefully we're finished with each other. I'm talking to a hat. Whatever it is you do, I prefer a sodden skull. Go play with the talking monkey and his friends. Like the beast from Russell's psychotic episode. It's real. It's now what? I shouldn't complain. I need a change of clothes. But a cape? What am I supposed to be? Besides dinner? Picture forming in my mind and a phrase I'm supposed to say. Silver spikes of shardium fly. What the burp is shardium? Dead. You mage, Dr. Fate. Ooh, you've destroyed a prized animal for nothing more than obeying its master. That was a mistake, Doctor. It would have killed you much more quickly than I will. So how's that for the start?
I like it.
What do you think about Kent?
Yeah, I like him. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the whole. I guess you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, but in the helmet forces both gives and takes.
I like that. How the helmet kind of has a mind of its own.
Yeah, but in fact, it shared its story. Like, okay, now tell me yours. And like again, very and his past. It's like, yeah, he brought this on himself. I mean, a bit cliche, but just to show that, yeah, this would be the other story. So, of course, because of that, we're gonna have to do things a little differently.
Okay.
So, actually, now that I think about it, I should do it more like this, where I go here and then scroll down.
Yeah, that works.
That way, I don't lose my place for the other stuff. You may be your face may be concealed, mage, but your confusion is plain. You don't recognize me, do you? No, but I know the type. Authoritarian, self-aggrandizing, overtly theatrical. I am called a naggle of charred. I feast upon souls in torment, and you try to steal my food. Happy again. Image taking shape in my mind. More gibberish. I'm supposed to repeat. Magic words. It's ludicrous. It flies in the face of. Say it, you fool. Jadoon Shield. Too late. So my suspicions were correct. You're a new one. Not a mage. Not even a neophyte. A pathetic accident of fate. Without the golden helmet, you were merely an annoyance. A tick competing for a lion up for prey. That is why you've survived until now. I couldn't see you. My guest hoon could not catch your scent. You were too meager in the presence in the universe. What the hell is he talking about? Your attempts to heal the mind of Russell Keenan were as insignificant as the threat you pose to me now. Russell? What? But the balance of power could shift were you to gain mastery of that thing on your head. Oh, I do like the tie. That turns out Russell was not crazy. But of course, who's going to believe it?
Yeah, exactly.
It therefore becomes imperative for me to destroy you now, while you flounder in ineptitude, while you can still be overcame with a fistful of semi-digestive mortal suffering. Wee. Right? Unless, like touching at butter, the blade slides harmlessly through the goop, but somehow they're pecking the crap out of me. Can they really be made of suffering? Not possible, is it? The fashion of physical menace out of experience? Although thoughts feeling can produce somatic effect, I'm gonna die. No, wait, another invocation, but the noise can't hear myself visualize. Louder, spirit what? Wind, spirit of louder, damn it, spirit of Azagoth. So rise, Jadoon spear. No, it wants the plural. Jadoon spears, volley. And hovering high in the air, Dr. Kent V. Nelson latches at the Jadoon lances, impale their talkers. Arcane energies instantly engulf Nigo and his demon mount. Nigo emits a bone-rattling roar of agony and indignation. His steed panicky neighs and puzzled whimpers linger accusingly in the night air. Then, plop! An allight. What have I done? Did I just kill a man and two innocent animals? Was Nigo a man? Did it really happen at all? Or did the whole battle take place in my mind, like my excursion to the edge of existence and the guided tour of my descent into personal financial rule? The helmet's obviously the cause. So why am I still wearing it? What am I afraid of? Nothing imaginary about this sucker. Weighs a frippin' ton. I'm not thinking clearly. But he still has the hammer! Or the axe! Still hungover, still rattled from the Rumble Bumps fight and the axe in the face. I need to find an empty doorway somewhere. Try to sleep. Clearly. You look what he does that. He pawns it!
Yeah, I love that.
What can you give me for? But he also pawns the axe and the helmet too. No idea, but it's an antique, I think. 160, 170, 175. I get breakfast. You're looking for a place to crash or a place to work? Either. Both. I saw your help wanted sign in the window. Frankly, I was hoping for an illegal, but what the hell? Job's pretty basic. Walk around with a bag and stick, pick up the trash, needles, any condoms from the courtyard and parking lot. Pays, I don't know, $4 an hour. Strictly cash. I'll throw in a room for as long as you keep the job. No drugs on the premise, no drinking on the job, no fraternizing with the guests, or guests, if you catch my meaning. Still want it? Yes. Swell, you're hired. You can start as soon as you lather off that urban bouquet and get some halfway presentable duds. Check out the Salvation Army store around the corner then, and then take a damn shower. Thank you, Mr. Swinburne. I gotta say, not a bad guy, clearly. My future, for instance, assuming I have one, assuming I want. No. I will not allow myself to stink in the therapeutic cliche. At the first faint glimmer of hope, I will not lunge for the comfort of suicidal ideation. I will go shopping. I will buy secondhand pants and a secondhand belt to hold them up. Shirts, I like how he's basically, we're actually getting very interesting inner thoughts. Like he's not a psychiatrist. Yep. Excuse me, sir. Was wondering, could you spare some change? Anything help, whatever you can. Doc? Well, what do you know? My old buddy Burr. I gather I lost our Rumble Bumps fight last night, eh? Do you know why I gather that, Burr? Because the winner doesn't typically wake up abandoned in a dumpster. You got both shares of the money, didn't you? Told them you hold mine for me. And being unable to anticipate even the most obvious and immediate consequence of your behavior, you drink your share and gamble away mine. Am I right, Burr? Am I? We've seen each other on the street almost daily for the past 6 months. It never entered your mind that our paths might cross again today, that you might have to account for what you did? Doc, I never meant to screw you over. I'm sure that's true, but you did it anyway, didn't you? Burr, you need a kind of help I can't give you. I'm not exactly taking patients anymore. I strongly suggest you see someone who is. Come on, man. You need to get out of my face, Burr, before the view makes me sick. But now, sorry, Burr, chalk it up to compassion fatigue. I need to put my own damn life in order before I can care much about anybody else. Oh, Dr. Nelson, are you there? You didn't kill him, Dr. Nelson. You can't kill death in one of its aspects. He's still eating me. Russell, me too, Doc. Not that you'd care. And me, Daddy. He's hungry for me. Whereas I just make him drool. What? It's Peyton, Dr. Nelson. Tuesday, 4:30. Ah! My eyes. What the hell? I don't fucking believe it. He came back. Put it on quick, Daddy. He's dismembering me like a baked chicken, Doc. He's nibbling at me. I think I like it. Save me, Doc. He's wolfing down my soul, Dr. Nelson. Crap. Am I actually expected to swallow this? The video game violence, the blatant appeal to emotion? It's the crudest kind of deception. Yeah, but what if it's even half true? Would it be any consolation if he only eating 2 of us? And 2 from the waist up and 2 from Daddy, help! Daddy, all right, how do I find my needle? No need of that. I found you. Enter Dr. Accident. You're descending into the carnal regions, as they are called by some of your Earths. Try not to be shocked at what you see. My realm is but one of many mansions housing the souls of the post-animate, the swarm over heaven, hell, and the bardo, Ragman's cloak, an infinity of stoken spaces like a great gnat cloud. But Charn specializes in the souls of the unsalvageable, those who suffered their lifetime in the torture of self and all of proxy. Their anguish is my sustenance, Doc. I consume it. Yeah, I definitely feel like we're only going to get through this one, but it'll be worth it.
It's fun.
Yep, your predecessor invaded this realm long ago and threatened to destroy me. We reached an accord of sorts that made our peaceful coexistence possible. Predecessor, I should like to strike a similar bargain with you. Agree, and there'll be no further conflict between us. Refuse, and you will have made an enemy, not merely for life, but for all eternity. Fine. Let's say I believe that this is actually happening, and I'm open to anything that gets you and your horror show out of my life. What did you have in mind? As you see, I've indeed taken one of your acquaintances hostages. I propose a simple pact to be sealed with the final torment of this singular, useless soul. Make no attempt to save him, and I promise never to prey upon you nor any minds you seek to heal. He betrayed you, stole from you, left you for dead. How difficult a choice can that be? He's ill. No more so than any number of patients I've treated. You're asking me to condemn him for that? I'm presenting you with the opportunity to spare us a future of mutual antipathy and tribulation. You are very new to the ways of magic, Doctor, and therefore very vulnerable. You've chosen to embark on your new career at a perilous moment, while the 10th age of magic is dawning and its governing principles are still in flux. Are you even aware of the price that helmet exacts from you each time you use it? Jandu Shield! You're no longer on the material plane, Doctor. The spells of Jadu are useless here. While you wear that helmet, your ignorance endangers yourself, your world, perhaps all of the world of magic. Silence. It's silence. Look at you, cowering from me. You haven't the slightest notion how to defend yourself from, oh no, worm gods of anchorage. Can it be? Dead air. I'm your first? Before my Geist attack, you never even laid eyes on a true unearther. No magic words, no nothing. I'm the fool and charmed this day. Why? To near on with the bargain. I'm just going to eat you. Does the helmet not work here either? Why else would it shut up now? Unless I already know what to do. Boom! Blah! A small taste of your own Schadenfreude, Neagle. Moments later, the portal reopened like an electronic eye door when we reached the top of the stairs. But the Earth's side has drifted. There must be some trick to positioning it that I don't understand. But then, why would I? It's not as if I understand or even believe anything else in my life at this point. You're welcome, Burr. I diagnosed my condition as a form of dissociative fugue, except it feels more like a tonal jazz. Interesting. My sense of humor, however lame, seems to be resurfacing. I may need it. I've just made an enemy for all eternity. I'm wearing a helmet that stole itself from an ultra pawn, which means I owe someone $175, and I'm on the street half naked and no doubt locked out of my room. Maybe Swineben's still at the desk. What do you think again as we go through this?
Not bad.
Dark Side versus Eclipso.
Okay.
That would have been, again, whenever we get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But very interesting, different handle. What do you think about Gerber's writing here?
I dig it. It's very action-packed.
By the way, Gerber's also the guy who wrote Superman, Last Son of Earth. That Elseworld?
Okay, I know.
The Inversion.
Okay.
And Last Stand on Krypton.
Okay, I have that book then.
But you should get the first two because otherwise you'll be completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Golden Horseshoe Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Kent B. Nelson, wearing the helmet of fate, plays the penny slots with uncommon success. Control, this is Ricci. We've got our mystery man inside. Bleep, bleep. Pardon me, sir. May we have a word? He's off in a word of his own, Jingo. You got to get his attention. Security, sir. We have to have a word. Do you always have to be so damn polite? What? No mask allowed in this casino, mister. Oh, is that all? It's not a mask, fellas. Just a hat. I'm not trying to hide my face. Radio the guys upstairs to zoom in for a close-up. I've got nothing to hide. Let me see that. Hey, hold on, Ricci. You can't just confiscate his property without. He's been winning almost every spin, you know. Just checking the inside of electronics. Looks clean. Okay, stud, you can wear your hat, but don't give me a reason to come bother you again. I didn't give you a reason this time. Sure you did. JDLR. What? Just don't look right. Just don't look right. Like you in that mask. Did you dress for the Olympics? I used to run marathons, sonny boy, till my arthritis sidelined me. But I could still leave your cheating butt in the dust. Bleep, 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 bloop. Burp. Made enough on the slots to pay back the pawn shop. Now, a little reference. Now the question becomes, do I owe the casino? Is it cheating to exchange an O to a 1 in the execution of a payout algorithm if it's accomplished with a magic word and an exertion of will? By, in essence, hoping really hard? Anyway, I picked up a valuable lesson tonight. It never occurred to me that some jerk could simply pluck the helmet out of my hands or off my head. If I'm going to keep this thing, I need to know about it, what it is and how it works. And above all, how to protect it. Tomorrow, we research. So he's going to check out with one of the psychics in Vegas. How did you find me, Mr. Dr. Nelson? I saw the article in the City Week. Your story sounds the most legitimate. Well, yeah. We are. We offer no varnish, no sugarcoating, no politically or therapeutically correct New Age twaddle. So what are you in the market for, Dr. Nelson? Comfort or truth? Truth. I've made do without comfort for a while now. May I venture a personal observation then? Your aura looks like untreated sewage, except around your hat. My aura? I take it I've got a skeptic here. It's reflective. My background is in Western medicine and the scientific method. Lately, though, I've undergone certain experiences I can't explain, and they've opened your mind to alternative descriptions of the universe, yes? I'm not accustomed to thinking on such a macro scale, but yeah, something like that. Why, do you have one? Oh, yes. Before we go any further, though, we need to cleanse your aura. With a cigar? With a bundle of dried herbs called a smudge stick. Just pretend you're at the airport. I'm Homeland Security, and you've just consented to waive the last of your civil liberties. Spread them. What are you doing? Smudging the negative energy. It leaves you more receptive to whatever it is the universe is trying to tell you, or ask of you, or give you. You won't know which until you establish an interface with it. Here, open this to any page, point your finger to any passage, and read it. Aloud, please. If flay all equals true, then existence equals the nude, world equals raving, scar equals armored, soul equals repurposed, end if and sub. Abruptly, Kent Nelson and the aura reading stone and store clerk find themselves thrust onto another plane of existence or perception. How? Where? In the path of a stampede, apparently. I'm not being forward. I might be able to get us out of the way if I can remember. Spirit winds of Agos, arise! Gone, all but dead. They ran right over each other like mindless savages. Consumers. Circuit. It sounds crazy, but somehow I know this place. I've been here before. What about that thing you had me read? Let go of me and we'll talk about it. When we first arrived here, you were shocked at what you saw, weren't you? But you don't seem quite so disoriented anymore. I apologize. That was out of line. It's odd. Impulse control isn't usually one of my problems. Just now and then, huh? And no more than anybody else. I mean, everybody loses it occasionally, momentarily. Maybe that figures into what's happening here too. Please relax. I promise I won't touch you again. You're seeing something different here than I am, aren't you? The same way you look at people but see their aura. I can see the physical body if I want. I find the aura more informative. What was that passage you had me read? Fate guided your eye and your finger to that subroutine. You chose it. I didn't. Subroutine? Every era, every culture develops its own incantory idiom, its own language for establishing contact with the unseen world. For centuries, it's been all variations on the basic bell, book, and candle motif. You know, cowled robes, intense and ceremonial daggers, quasi-profundities uttered in hushed tones in dark places. But not anymore. To anyone with any sensitivity, it's obvious something has changed in the domain of magic, and the idiom is changing with it. The book I pulled for you proposes a programmatic paradigm for accessing the beyond and the within. Your head understands, even if you don't. Its aura is precisely attuned to the new universal vibe. What about my initial question? What is it you see differently here? What allows you to accept the landscape like this? You'll have to excuse me a moment. I have another customer. What? He'll conduct you downstream. I'll see you later on the other side, on the one side or the other. There comes a point where even the bizarre and inexplicable grows tedious. I've reached it. These hallucination episodes don't happen when I'm not wearing the helmet. I've never tried removing it during one. It seemed risky, but so was losing my mind. How could anyone live sanely under the constant threat of suddenly uncontrolled cognitive overload? It's not possible. What? Well, that was kind of foolish, wasn't it? Widow always told me, keep your head on your shoulders and your head on your head, and you'll never go wrong. Except in church, of course, if you're that sort that goes. Why'd you want to take it off anyhow? It's mighty fine looking, you ask me. Also, it assists in organizing incoming nonlinearity pattern sensory data, which might otherwise be perceived as chaotic and threatening. Again, very detailed, but I like a lot of this dialogue.
They're kind of going off the whole...
re-explaining magic.
Yeah, any potential any really advanced science can be seen as magic.
Yep. Save your strength, Doc. You're going to need every ounce of spunk you got when you meet the king and queen. Who are you? And you sound like Huckleberry Finn speaking from the grave. I reckon you're not far wrong, Doc. No, ain't my place to say. You ask the king and queen. They'll give you an earful. That's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And so saying, we certainly into Jungian, the mighty river, the tiny raft, and Huck Finn, no less, the archetype of American innocence hollowed out. And this here is where you get off. You march in right up the throne and ask him any old thing you want. March head in, sure. Why wouldn't I? If only to appease the nagging feeling that I should be able to recognize this place, that I've been here before, often. Enter, Kent V. Nelson. We are the king, and we are the king. This is our queen. That is our whipping boy. You will address us as your majesties. You will not address that at all, for that possesses no identity, no persona, no self-concept that exists to be broken. Approach, Kent Nelson. Our ferryman tells us you have questions. A couple, yeah. How did I get here? What is this place? Why does it seem so alien? It's so familiar to me. No fairy. What is he trying to say? I have no face. I would read.
That's creepy.
Wait. I am yours. Oh, I am you.
Mm-hmm.
We assume your question has been answered. Is that correct, Kent Nelson? I don't. If you're uncertain, let us consider them one by one. How'd you get here? The book, that if-then incantation. Very good. Logically then, what is this place? It's where flay all equals true. The existence they knew. A world stripped of its veneer. Humanity driven by ravenous hunger. It's the abode of souls, armored under layers of scars. I gotta say, though, as much as I love this, and it's clearly trying to redefine all, I can see why no one continued with it. Mm-hmm. Added into, of course, what happened to Gerber. Yeah. But I don't think anyone would have followed it anyway.
No.
Souls willing to trample their brethren in a mad crush to gratify insatiable appetites. It's America hollowed out, repurposed to rape the world. It's now. Yes, it's the rantings and self-dramatization of a wounded and bitter man, isn't it? Which is why it's so familiar. I've been wandering around a representation of my own interior life. This is how I've come to see the world. Post-marriage, post-material wealth, post-life on the street. And you two are the part of me that never stops beating myself up over what I've become. Twack, twack. Come on off your knees. We've been our own whipping boy long enough. We hope you're intelligent enough to presume you're cured. To not presume you're cured. Oh, believe me, I have no illusion other than the one I'm in the midst of. I'm sure I'll be dodging your Majesty's lash for some time to come, but I'll try to remember who's actually administering the punishment. And now I'd like to return to physical reality, or an ordinary perceptual state, or wherever the hell I came from. What's keeping you? Sub mundus, if flay equals false, then call Earth and if. I gotta say, it's interesting actually having a psychiatrist viewing magic.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense why you can actually understand it much easier than others.
Yeah.
And so, it's okay. He's just coming out of a meditative state. He's not dangerous. And anyway, I could take him with one kick. Here, let me get you your receipt. Your timing sucks, Doctor. It's not easy to attract a Republican soccer mom into this kind of store. You probably scared that one away for life. I'm sorry, I didn't know how long I was, and how long was I? Long enough. I'm getting ready to close up. How do you feel about coffee? These days, I'm grateful when I can afford a cup. Oh, poor you. I'll treat. You shouldn't think a shrink. You wouldn't think a shrink would need to go on a vision quest to find out he's depressed. Your aura looks healthier, but is that all you got out of the experience? Should there be more? Let me put it this way. Do you know how many would-be witches, warlocks, chaos mages, neo-pagans, semolists, shamans, and voodoo priests recited little spells today and didn't get results like yours? I have no idea. Neither do I, but it must be thousands, tens, maybe hundreds of thousands. I've never seen anybody transported quite that way before. Forget taking me along for the ride. And I've been dealing with this unseen world crap since I saw my first aura at age 5. That seems to strike an emotional chord with you. How does it make you feel? Peeved, Doctor. I don't think you're that talented. I think it's your hat. You asked what I saw differently in your vision. I saw we were still in the store, of course, which is why I didn't panic. I'm sure you figured that out. But I also saw that your futzing was forces you don't begin to comprehend. It was nice meeting you. If you don't destroy the universe, drop in again sometime and maybe buy something. Wait! I didn't get your name. Maddie. Descriptive, huh? Thanks for the coffee, Maddie, and the warning. I'll be careful. Try anyway. First, I have to see if one magic trick still works. Spirit wings of Azagoth. Arise! Next, Inza. Remember, that's Kent and Inza. It's always going to be Kent and Inza. Again, very interesting book, but very complicated.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? It's like Ram V's entire Detective Comics run.
But yet, not as, like, it's confusing, but not confusing when you're reading. He's not trying to be
abstract. At least this one explains stuff.
It's straightforward, but you can see why Gerber was picked. Oh, this is the case where this got the main story. Okay. So hold on. Oh yeah, this, by the way, this is when Jean Loring died. She got reverted back by Mary Marvel, and then eaten by sharks.
Oh God!
Because be honest, she deserved it. And then it went back to Bruce Gordon.
Okay.
Yep, but here we go. The morning after I'm not going to agree through all of this. I'll just going, but yeah, obviously just going through all this stuff. He's still trying to come to terms with anything. She didn't ask cheap as what. She understood it doesn't matter. Lola's sharp that way. I was talking about someone named Lola he had met. I left the store, took a swig, and said the magic word. And my bottle, my dissonant cognition, and I went for a walk in the clouds. One night off the wagon. What could it hurt? Very little, actually. Despite a blinding headache, Nelson the Impaler was back on patrol at the appointed hour. However, at the precise instant my stick pierced the wax coating of a discarded cup, the combination of alcohol and the helmet seems to heighten my sensory perception alarmingly. I heard one motel patron tell another that the date was February 24th, Laring's birthday, my daughter's birthday, her 9th. Chink! Like a stab to the heart, isn't it, kid? That was your dear old drunken, depressed, deluded dad. Can't afford to buy you a present that he can't even give you a call. And because he doesn't even have your number, because he doesn't have your address. because he doesn't know if you and your mother even live in frickin' Vegas anymore. Because he basically sucks as a provider, a father, and a man. And a week and a half off the wagon, what could it hurt? So he's been drinking up for about a week now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Ah, come on.
That happens.
At least it's not as bad as it was.
Yeah.
What the hell? Blah, 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 spirits of... Well, is somebody going to do something? You? What are you? You're someplace. You're kidding, right? Fine. Eat poop and bark at the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming. Don't panic. Aren't you cold? Yes, and I'm trying not to think about it. What happened? Where'd you fall from? There. Up. Where? Up. There's nothing. On the spurts wind, Walking King must have tripped. I fell in fast. I hear you, man. Gravity's a bitch. I wanted to help, miss, but Blaine, my fiancée, well, I'm distantly related to the Hiltons. Yeah, and she was afraid somebody recognized me and we'd have paparazzi swarming, and she hates that. Oh, we'll tell her she's worried for nothing. I'm looking straight at you, and I honestly wouldn't know you from the next sniveling suck bomb. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
You okay? My daughter lost my dog. Oh God, did I go home today? Did I stick the trash? You have a home then? I don't know. Not if I didn't stab the trash. I'm sorry, Lauren. Sweetie, maybe you better get you to the hospital. No, they can't see me like this. I was a doctor. You're rapidly narrowing my options, you know. Short of abandoning you to the cruel merch night, we're pretty much down to the police or my house. How homeless are you? Feeling the heat, are you? Yes, I am. Thank you. Inza Fox. That's odd. The name? Gee, thanks. No, I had an aunt named Inza. Great aunt, actually. I'm named after her husband. What was her husband's name? Kent Nelson. I never even met them. I think they moved out of the country or something before I was born. What's so funny? Kent Nelson. Yes, so. Sounds like a soap opera character. It's like naming somebody Joe Whitebread. No, it simply has the timbre of an earlier age. Ha!
That's good.
I like little jabs like that.
I like that. That's good.
Because it's not mean-spirited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back when women were less adept at ridicule or men were less ridiculous. Anyway, you're missing the point. What are the chances of a guy named Ken dropping out of the sky into the waterlogged arms of a chick named Inza? Astronomical? Exactly. It's fate. Anyway, welcome to the Den of Inquidity. Try not to step on Killhead. What's that? Your cat? No, my livelihood, such as it is. You built yourself, and that is yourself. You're a sculptor, cartoonist. The statue goes with me to comic book conventions. It's for promotion. Fans come to my booth, get their picture taken with him, and maybe buy an issue or two. Issue of the comic book. Look on the coffee table. What's an incuban? A smaller, less signified class of demon than an incubus. Save the questions for later, okay? Take your clothes off. What? And they're wet. Get them off and take a shower. No offense, but you're smelling a little gamey. I'd rather you didn't leave that odor in the futon. There's a Killhead shirt and a pair of my ex's pants on the bed. Put them on before you come out. You want tea? Yes, thank you. So are you really a doctor, or was that just standard homeless guy bull poo? I really am. What? Hey, boy Whitebread, you okay? Probably got his head stuck in my panty drawer. What the hell was I thinking? Crap! What? No, stop! Like, you'll hurt your... what the frick was that for? I was dreaming. Thought your shirt was trying to kill... Am I naked? I can't let that heady scent of yours seep into my mattress. I was forced to take some liberties. Sorry. Now that you're awake, you can spare me the labor and yourself the embarrassment. And have at it. Let's see how you clean up. There was a time you could dress me up and take me almost anywhere. And undressed, I was considered something other than a chore. Ow! Oh, God, not the plumbing. I can't afford... Ow, damn it! It burns! It's choking me! What the burp? Human suffering. Neagle! Magic words. I need magic. It's gone. What happened to the helmet? Had to wash your hair. Like Enza! He's destroyed her. Actually destroyed her. Taking a human life. and liquefied it for no reason other than to torture me. It's my fault for indulging my self-pity, for losing control, for letting myself fall into her life. I need a drink. What could it hurt? Dang!
Mm-hmm.
And again, the artwork is just so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, by this point, obviously, because of his health, is why it got reverted to the backup.
Mm-hmm.
The second book. Boy, I feel bad for him, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
She helped him up and everything, and what happened? Got killed.
Mm-hmm.
By Neagle, a self-described unearther who feeds upon mortal misery and the twisted soul of its maker. Inza Fox, independent comic book artist, author, self-publisher of More Pain Comics, and creator of Killhead. If the imagery got any more thematic appropriate, he screamed. He does. Ah! He clears his head a little, enough to stop him from dwelling on the events of the past few minutes and allow himself to ask what must come next. Inza put out a shirt and a pair of her ex's pants for him. That's the beginning. Whatever he needs to do and to do it probably shouldn't happen in a towel. Inza's utility belt. She kept her art supplies in. Money too, and car keys. Yes to the keys, but where to go? And what if the neighbors spot the man in the golden mask taking a car? Calls the police, who then discovers Inza missing. Alternative then. Fly away on the spirit wings of Azagoth? No. If driving away in the car might attract attention, then fly where? Back to the royal flush where he may or may not, he can't quite remember, damn it, have a room or a job? No. Pointless. What destroyed Inza was his frailty, his ignorance. So he starts to read comic books, in other words, to get a better understanding.
Yeah.
What do you know? Killhead and I have something in common. All he wants is a reason to justify his existence. Oh, look at this then.
Oh, cool. He's in the comic.
Yeah, look in the comic. Yeah, just look at all this.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. Yeah. And it's clearly based on a mixture of Max and Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, right?
Yeah.
Right. Ever since the incident, Inza, you are a very troubled young woman. Were. What are you now? An oil up. He's obviously trying to be a bit more cynical about it. I'd be curious to know what really happened to you in the summer of '02. I don't think you're about to tell me, though. Geez. I'm sorry, Jakarta. I've been sorry for 5 years, 4 months, and 11 days. Crazy girl knows and wishes forgiveness could come faster. Any word from home? Same old. I'm disowned until I find myself. You know what that means. Until you complete your first visitation. Yeah. Until you can come to the crazy girl in her sleep and stupor as an incorporeal entity and make her surrender a portion of her life force. You always leave off the most important part. Willingly. So, in other words, he needs to bang a girl, but she has to do it willingly.
Okay.
Gerber is trying to mention how this ends up being how messed up she is.
Mm-hmm.
Through the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening? Crazy girls are required to study their meatloaf. And the act of siphoning life energy requires intense intimacy, which you sensed in my touch. You are accustomed to wanton groping of the flesh, to predictable sensation of ordinary lust. But the touch of the incubus penetrates deeper into the undeveloped core of your... Are you implying that crazy girl abs need work? 5 years ago, when they finally found you, you had daisies in your mouth. The 3 men you left in your room sold their stories and videos to 3 different websites. You finally succumbed to embarrassment. So in other words, she was a socialite that then ended up having her life fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
A physically disfigured demon, a psychologically disfigured brat, a black sheep of hell and capitalism, shunned by their own kind, swore to get in a relationship that meets the needs of neither. Did he leave you or did you dump him? Or was this a breakup with yourself? Killhead's face. Is that a visual representation of a splinter personality? Were you trying to dump? Again, he's basically diagnosing everything through the comic.
Yeah.
I find that so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And she sublimates. She immerses herself regularly, ritualistically in the crazy girl's paralysis, then walks away and lets the killhead take out her rage. Maybe it's just, well, I didn't get to know her any better. There's something truly terrible locked up inside. Murder or suicide? What? You're all right, doctor. It's ashen, malted with a sickly purple. You've recently been in the presence of death, or something akin to it. And so, yeah, basically, but I couldn't place where I'd seen it till yesterday. Really? Yep, and this is where he catches up now about the JSA, about fate.
Okay, I see. That's cool.
Yep. Obviously, this is going faster now. This is the back, more the secondary story now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what most of this is. It's just filling in the blanks at everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm searching your R for traces of yellowish, green, or dull pink, and not finding any, which frankly pisses me off. Apparently, you think you're telling the truth. Damn it! I didn't come here to be judged. Neagle may have killed somebody because of me. I need to know what I'm supposed to do. Here's a hint. Tantrums won't help. You've been very supportive, Maddie. Thanks. Oh. Yep, just a sec. Just one sec. Just one quick sec. All right. But yeah, like, I'm ready, oh prophet. Give me some truth. Let's begin with the glaringly obvious, such as Zoroaster wasn't a prophet, and shrinks turn petulant when their manipulative techniques can can the crap. I don't recall mentioning that I was a psychiatrist. How did you know that? Maybe I'm a psychic, or maybe I Googled you. But I'm not wrong, am I? No, I rarely am. Sucks, doesn't it? Anyway, it seems you're not just Dr. Nelson anymore. You're also Dr. Fate. You've got to be kidding. According to Thomas Basil, the author, very little is known about him. He was a founding member of the JSA and presumed to be a sorcerer. He operated out of Salem, Massachusetts, where he was supposedly headquartered in a tower with no windows or doors. Blah, blah, blah.
Tower Fate, yeah.
Yep. So you really don't have any practical advice to offer on how to handle the dissolution of a human soul in a shower, except, maybe ask my hat's buddies in the Justice Society of America? Don't make me kick you again, Dr. Nelson. Get your impulses under control. Don't worry, they are. Despite, I like how these are complicated characters. Mm-hmm. And how, like, you get why he's acting this way, you get why she's acting this way.
Yeah.
Damn it, Nelson, I'm talking to you. Where the hell have you been? I got 2 days worth of crap. Oh, man. Yeah, basically like, screw it. I probably overreacted. I'm trying to give people a chance, but with this job. But I get disappointed a lot because they didn't want to work off the books at below minimum wage. Were there any message for me at the desk this morning? Why? You meet some babe who's hot to trot with a little poker? Don't let her breathe on you. You're at the economic level in Vegas where the only women who talk to you are contagious. I get now. He's just being caught by Neagle again, and what the heck? Basically tortures him, sends him into a very major mind trip, gives him hints of the JSA, but tortures him with it. Hold on. There's the specter and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it looked like deceased.
Yeah. And then he's tossed out. She shows up and gives him the helmet. Here, it's yours. I surrender my hat to your superior wisdom. Have a nice life. And kind of get the burp out of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. Now, this was the last one that Gerber scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is he was already in the hospital, but he did plot it out with Beechin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hawk and Dove.
There you go.
The female ones, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, after all the studies, all the books, to finally hold an artifact of real mystic occult power. I do like how you to get this from her perspective now.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, finally, I like this. This whole the type of girl who has been through it all, always just been for more of an outsider, finally going in.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea, don't you?
Yeah, me too.
Like basically, he had all the power, but none of the knowledge. She has all the knowledge and none of the power until now.
Mm-hmm.
Finally free. Unfortunately, like you win, Eagle. Congratulations. Hello? God is all, isn't he? Everything. You can tell me he is everything for the illuminated to see, the enlightened like us. You have no idea. Patui, you know nothing. Why? Less than nothing. Oh, not what you expected.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Let me go. What are you doing? Where are you taking me? To filth. Paid. Illumination. Like, love. Amateur number 1. A person who does something without professional skill. 2. You. Arrogant, clueless. You. Who? My name's Yimp. I'm, well, an imp. If you want enlightenment, you're going to get it. I'm going to be your guide. Again, just all this stuff, and she's basically showing how much he did over her head. And then, oh man, poor Ken. He's being taken by Neagle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now she's going through all of this stuff. Again, just basically the whole point is showing that how much in over her head she is.
Mm-hmm.
And she's basically giving a cram fits the course and what real magic is.
Mm-hmm.
All the while Kent is being taken away. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me alone. Why did you leave me alone? Oh, I guess I'm just too sensitive to your pain. And most suffering is done in solitude. I thought I'd leave you to do my suffering as well as yours. Please, no, please come back. What did you do to me? I can't set up. Please, I can't stay here. Oh, you're not here. You're not staying here. But don't let that give you any hope. You belong to Neagle now. You're on your way to meet him. And I don't mean conceptually or metamorphically. It's time for you to meet him. Ready or not, you're going to love this human female, sire. She was practically made for your realm. Really throws herself into her suffering. Shows a true gift for fine shadings of self-revulsion and a talent for throwing on them onto others. I don't normally play matchmaker, but she might even be mating material. No, it's still too soon. I still haven't put Hesgets behind me yet. That 16-eyed, cloven hoof little minx. No, I just want all these destroyed, plain and simple. Destroyed forever. I want to be certain that no entity bearing the mantle of Dr. Fate walks any path in any reality ever again. So there's Kent, Inza, and now her.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we get the last issue. This is where it was decided to have, he had already passed on, and then they decided to have the 4 writers closest to him involved give their own endings the way they feel it would be done.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Mark Waid, Gail Simone, Mark Evanier, and Beechin, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Because, since he fair enough, since he scripted the last one.
Okay, I see.
One second. Yep, and then you can tell me which one you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
There's the ending of the Eclipso one, but here we go. First, we have the Adam Beecher one. Naturally, Maddie wakes with songs of magic in her head. The one she always wanted to hear. The one she finally heard when she came into possession of the helmet of fate. The songs curdle when she smells the brimstone and dust of the air. Above her towers Neagle, devourer of soul, and his minion Yip, ready to turn Kurt Nelson, the man who gave her the helmet, into a digestive mass, a mass of solid human suffering, like the lump next to her. Inza Fox, The name comes back to her. That lump was once artist Inza Fox. We'll start with this one, the true heir to the helm. Soon, Dr. Fate will be a footnote of reality. Maddie's next thought should be self-preservation. She knows she's next, and Maddie's primary concern has always been Maddie. So what she does next surprises even her. No, don't touch him! Is it primal instinct? A barely felt plea from Kent transmitted along mystic airwaves to the helmet they both worn? Or is it a nudge from the helmet itself? Interesting. Futile, of course, but interesting. Then again, human sacrifice isn't unheard of in my realm. But Maddie is certain that her next impulse comes not from within her. The knowledge that will contact with Kent, a man so selfish and self-absorbed in his way as she is, strengthens both of them. It's not enough to defeat and deflect Neagle. They need another element, an element not of themselves, to complete the circuit. Oh, it's Inza's character. What the hell? A diversion, a painful one, but harmless. One that one that has bought these novices countless eternities of existential torture, endless agonies of the soul and flesh. Blam, kablam! Ugh. All clear. Anything else? Yeah, you're done good. Me, Bev, Megs, and Sonny. This is basically one of Gerber's characters saving their butts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Howard on the line. Me, Bev, Megs, and Sonny are going for beers with the big guy before he heads upstairs. You're welcome to join us. I don't know. Feels like more should happen before he goes, that there's more to do down here. He feels the same way, pal, but he's cool with it. He's leaving behind a bunch of others as he's taught to handle things. What? Last thing I remember. Where? Who are these? Inza, you're all right. I guess you're looking better too, Doc. I feel better for the first time in. Here, Kent, it's calling for you. It sought you out in the first place, not me. In some way, shape, or form, it sought out all three of us, Maddie. And I don't remember much, but I do remember, however, Nico was held off. It took three of us to do it. This helmet has a lot to teach us. All of us, I think. But we can get to that later. It's a beautiful morning. Who wants eggs? He's naked! Only in Vegas!
Mm-hmm.
So that's one ending. Next is Mark Evaniers. You're not going to let the entire female go to waste, sire. There will be other pleasures, especially when the entire conceit and concept of Dr. Fate has been purged from all reality. It's not like I didn't know this was coming. Didn't know the how and the where. Certainly didn't know when the exact when. Matter of fact, I expected the win long ago in nearly every morning of my life. All in all, it was like a lot like the Today Show, but without the cut-ins for your local weather. Even Maddie doesn't seem all that surprised, which surprises me. I would have thought one taste of Nico's aura would have made her soul go condo and her id implode. Maybe that's just what happened here. Just maybe. All the happiness, all the moments of color in life just spilling out of her. I remember when I used to see things like that back in my personal Byzantine era. Nice of them to drop by and say hello as I'm on the way out. Even him, the original Dr. Fate. The images grow more and more personal, so much so you'd almost think they were coming from me instead of her. But then they stop fighting fair. It becomes like that family album you don't want to see. Scenes of times that pass and can never be again. And they real piled on. Hauling out one of the few things I've done right. Lyran! Better rethink your plans, Deagle. Killing me never accomplished anything. I ought to know. I've been trying it most of my life. It will eliminate Dr. Fate once and for all. Doesn't work like that. Heroes like that don't die. Not for very long. They come back one way or another. They all come back. People you can kill, but ideals, spirits, sorry, they have a life of their own. One even you can't nuke out of existence. Dr. Fate came back, and then another, and another. There'll be others after me, others more worthy of the name and the hat. Even Inza will be back. That's assuming this even is Inza. I don't know how, but I know she'll be back, and it'll be in a better form than this. It would have to be. I haven't won, but you haven't either. When the time is right, I will. Maddie called him the Lord of the Self-Despised. Guess he couldn't cope with a little rebellion. Because suddenly he's gone, and it's dark. So dark, you can't even see how dark it is. but not everything. It's probably light where Maddie is. I came in here for something, but I can't remember what. Where does this come from? And why is it glowing the way it is? Since when do books have auras? I have a feeling it's always light where Maddie is. And I can't be positive Inza is back yet. But if she is, I'll bet it's light where she is too. It's light where she is too. That was a great thing she did, saving my life. I'll have to try saving it myself sometime. That is, if I have one left to save. I can't even tell whether I have a life anymore. The only thing I know for sure is I have this. Maybe this would be a good time to double down. Then we have Mark Wade's, where Maddie wakes him up, and then he gets a visit from that guy with the air tank.
Okay.
Yep. Better to slumber in the... Basically explains to him how you have all the answers. He's basically God speaking through him, and he gives him a prescription to get his life in order.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in other words, patient, physician, heal thyself and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gimme. Yep. Fate has awakened. So yeah, he actually fully becomes Fate, gets Inza out of her, restores her, and like Inza, I presume. I know that T-shirt anywhere. Let's go find some incantations that'll clean her up. Poor thing. And then like, what the hell just happened? I got a last bit of guidance from a good friend. That and a prescription for the answer to how to heal my life. I presumed it was a dream, but wow. Well, what did it say? Beats me. Can't read the handwriting. Bummer. Roll with it. Ah! And then this is Gail's ending now. Mm-hmm. And basically, she tries to do it, mentions Inza. He's in, like, I know the plot now, Maddie. This is my burden. Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't nicer to you, Kent. Why, Maddie? Now, this was an actual quote from Gerber to Gail. I'm sensing some sadness in your voice. There's no need for that yet. Some sort of positive outcome is still very possible. Which then leads to, Nigo, like, oh, no, Nigo, I don't know how to do any of these things. I might even know how to be a good person anymore. But I do know psychology. Basically, in other words, he uses his psychology to actually talk him, to defeat him.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he's able to figure out his problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then they head off together. All of them leave, like as their team. And Inza is still stuck in this form, and he's going to try and cure her with Maddie's help.
I kind of like that one.
But what did you think about this overall?
I mean, I like the 4 ending thing. That's actually a really, really cool idea. It's a nice tribute. Endings 2 and 4 are my favorites. Yep.
I personally like the Wade one because it felt like, out of all of them, it felt like it really got him and embraced the Dr.Fate side more so.
True that.
But what did you think about this overall story?
I kind of liked it. I liked how it went really in depth on magic and how it's basically like science because it dealt with like equation stuff, but it didn't go too overly crazy.
Exactly. A little too indulgent. Like it was borderline Vertigo.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was still good enough, close enough to the main DC universe. And it's typical Gerber, and it's a shame he passed away before he could finish it. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, as good as these endings are, the tribute, it doesn't leave a definitive ending. Mm-hmm. That's the downside.
Yeah, that is the problem. They should have at least said this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, or this.
Yep, but unfortunately, then that's why eventually when he would appear in JSA, it's not even while the name is this Kent Nelson, he's not written like this Kent Nelson. He's written like any other Kent Nelson. Mm-hmm. That's the one downside. Mm-hmm. It felt like, again, overall, a nice story, a good attempt, but unfortunately undermined by the deaths of the author, literally in this case.
Yeah, I do agree. Again, it's cool. And then, the 4 endings are both cool, and it's both a blessing and a curse when you think about it.
Yeah, because again, you can't just pick and choose which ending. You need a definitive one. Mm-hmm. Okay, in concept, it was good. But you know what I think they should have done? They should have had all 4 writers work together on one ending. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
And I would say have all of them collaborate.
Yeah, as opposed to this. I mean, again, I get, and that's though, but this clearly wouldn't have been what Gerber would have done because he wouldn't have done a tribute to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as much as I like Beechin, I think that's my least favorite because it felt way too self-indulgent of a tribute to Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
You know, including, you know, his characters at the end saving the day. Ugh.
Yeah.
That felt a little too, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Like congratulatory and all that.
I wouldn't say self-congratulative, but it's just too much of a tribute.
I see.
Whereas,
I
like,
see.
Gale's, she quoted one of his things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a message. That's all you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Mark Waid and Evan Neer both matched the tone of Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But none of them felt like this was, none of these endings felt like it would have been what Gerber would have done.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the artwork?
Artwork is pretty good all through, I would say.
Yep. What do you think about Justiniano? Again, scumbag of the year. Great artwork.
He was a good artist. Yeah, 100%.
Very original.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But now, where does this make you feel about Fate in general? Like, what did you think about Kent as a character overall?
I kind of liked how, like, I liked all of his internal dialogue. I liked seeing kind of more of a flawed Dr. Fate because it's like they've experimented with having like different versions of Fate that like each are like at various parts of their lives. I mean, even in the Suicide Squad animated movie, they have one that was a stripper.
Yeah. Right. Inza, can't say much about her, but what about Maddie?
I liked her. I think she was my favorite character, honestly.
Definitely, because she was just this interesting, fresh take of a character in this type of story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's not. It would have been one thing to make Inza that character because Inza's so tied into it, but instead they went a different route, and I like that. It's kind of like, I gotta break this comparison: Superman Earth 1.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, where Maddie is again, like normally you would expect the Lois Lane to be the love interest, but then you come up with an original character. Here you expect Inza to be the more magical knowledge person, but instead it goes to this new girl.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, rest in peace, Gerber. He was a great writer, a terrific writer. You should look up some of his other work.
Mm-hmm.
And for this as his swan song, I couldn't think of anything better, to be honest. Like him trying to redefine magic, the world of magic, the 10th age and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't bad, but yeah, next time though, like we'll be going over the Eclipso story. That won't be for a while, obviously, because we couldn't get to it in this recording session, but it's an interesting story. It's going to include Plastic Man, Offspring, Hawk and Dove, the Crispin Allen Spectre, and all that. It's going to be an interesting ride.
I can't wait.
Yep. But, yep, thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Jared, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Bye-bye.